Rosemary. Oh, yeah, I guess so. Oh, I'm so sorry. Yep. Oh. Thank you. Okay. Take care. If you want to talk more later, call me. Bye.
Oh dear.
I think it's her dog died during the night. She woke up this morning and he was dead,
Oh,
and she's really upset.
oh,
So,
oh.
and I can certainly sympathize with that. So she's not going to be with us today. No, that's sad.
Yeah.
How are you, Andrew?
Living the dream, David.
Now let me ask you again, how are you really, Andrew?
Living the dream, David.
I see, it's not bad, huh?
Wonderful, wonderful. Underneath it all, we are existing.
Well,
So, what else can we want, right? I don't know.
Uh-oh.
No, we're
Okay.
good. Great.
The kids are all right?
They are definitely all right. Yeah, they are. They're the definition of all right. Yeah. No.
Cool.
It's been a morning. So
It's been a morning. Well, I think that goes with the territory, as they say.
yes.
And there are mornings like that. Okay, well, we will progress. So either of you have a question? How's your practice going?
I think I discovered something, but I'm not sure. When you pull in the energy before you sink it,
Mm-hmm.
you pull it down into you pull it down. I'm just visualizing that now, and I don't think I ever understood that where it came from or something. Anyway,
Yeah,
that's not a question, but just an observation that it's working better.
good, good. And absolutely. There are there are several different circuits of energy in the body, and they're all functioning at the same time. But that basic one of energy from the universe flowing in through by way the crown of the head through the body and out through the feet into the earth, and the reverse flow is absolutely one of the primary ones that we are working with, particularly at this stage in this practice. So good, that's a good awareness. Anything for you, Andrew?
Nothing to report.
Okay. So I'm going to start with giving you a little bit of information about the Taoist 8 energy bodies, which is not entirely a part of this particular Qigong course, but something that underlies all of Taoist practices, and so a good thing to begin to be aware of. And I will also include I guess maybe a little more detailed handout today on the 8 energy bodies, will give you even a little more. So there's an idea that exists in Buddhism and Taoism and many other traditions that it is possible for a human being to be simultaneously aware of the entire universe. If that is so, if you talk about your physical energy, it's very simple. It stops at your skin. But if you talk about energy that makes your body operate, it goes out somewhere around 3 feet to probably at most around 300 feet. And there are some theories that that's the original idea that stadiums were built on. But wait a moment, we also have emotional energy. So how far does that go? Well, if a person's emotional energy is relatively weak and they're not that developed, it goes out at least as far as the next star. But if their emotional energy is reasonably developed, it goes at least as far as the end of this galaxy, or maybe even a few more. That's a lot of distance. So what does that mean? What it means is that something you do here can affect people in the end of the galaxy, but also means that what they're doing over there is coming through and potentially can affect you. So the nature of a signal when it goes out is that it can also come back in. Essentially, what the boundary of your etheric body is the natural skin through which your energy goes out, or it's also where it comes in. It can enter your field and go through and affect your body and affect you. This is, to a certain degree, but not completely, the underlying basis of astrology, which is a science of influences. Not what's going to happen, but it does have to do with influences. But there are other things which can actually significantly supersede astrology. For example, in Taoist meditation, they have a very big thing that anybody can throw their emotions around. You have to realize that you might piss off someone near you, but the other thing is that you may also be making links to every being to the end of the galaxy. And that can set up a lot of karma. That can take one a very long time to unravel. And so that's why, from a more esoteric point of view, that in addition to the fact that if you throw around your emotional energy, it will come back at you in some way or another. Most people don't understand that it goes a little bit further than that. So one of the things in meditation is getting this boundary really clear. You do your best to omit, unless you decide to boost your signal for positive reasons. But you also learn how to stop it to a great degree so that you diffuse a lot of stuff that's coming towards you from all over the place. Now, when you start talking about releasing your energy out to 3 feet, this is only the beginning of a whole process in Taoist meditation, which takes it a lot further. But human beings are not primarily concerned in the subject of Qigong about the way that their energy is going out and affecting the universe. The subject of meditation is being concerned about what your energy is doing inside of you and how it's affecting the things which you are quite directly connected to. so. Any thought about that?
Wow,
The
better watch out.
yes, you better watch out. Exactly. The handout that I sent you is a little more down to earth, shall I say. So it'll be a little more clear about the energy bodies. But this is an interesting aspect to be aware of. So in the work we've been doing, it's important to make sure that your hips are stable. And the biggest reason is not, as you might think, that it's just a matter of having your spine and sacrum wiggle. Ultimately, it's about opening up the perineum so that the chi that's moving through your pelvis can really connect with your legs. There is a very, very simple exercise that can be done to get this. Most people actually cannot feel if the muscles and everything in the qua are actually moving. If you have a signal in your body, but you can't feel it, how in God's name are you supposed to change it? So you need to be able to recognize what the instability is, where it is that you're getting the spasm or irregularity from. And then you can either, by dropping your chi or by dissolving, release the spasming that's happening in the nerves. And that's number one. But number two, very often when people's hips are not even, they usually have some muscles in their pelvic structure that are shorter than they should be, and they have some that are a little longer than they should be. By this simple differentiation of long and short, their hips are tending to flip up and down. And if it gets to its worst condition, you end up with what's called an unstable lower sacrum. It actually moves all over the place. This can be corrected. You simply have to get your body not just to pattern the muscles, because if you don't actually change that chi, the muscles will simply revert. So you have to change the flow through of the chi. That's the reason why acupuncture with no physical anything will get the whole thing to work, because it can establish a smooth flow of chi. If you're doing it physically, you want to work both on the tissues and the sense of chi going through. So let's work on this exercise. So we're going to have to stand up. So what I want you to do is just simply to step out to a little wider stance. And the first thing is shift your weight to 100% on one foot. Keep the back straight. And you're trying to get to the point where you can lift that other foot and put it down without losing your balance. And you just have to find where is that comfortable width for you. And then when you find it, actually bring the foot back in slightly. So you still maintain a wide stance. Let me get back here where you can see me. So you step out wide, finding where you can have that balance. And then you step slightly back in. And of course, we're not doing this stretching up. You're relaxing the quad, allowing yourself to sit down slightly, and not going too fast, and really focusing on the area of the quad. Begin to shift your weight into one foot. And as soon as you feel either hip, and it probably is going to be on the weighted side, begin to rise, because usually it will go up, not down. If you feel it's starting to rise, then pause and re-level your hips. And it will be fairly subtle. I can make it big, put a tilt in here and straighten, but it will be just a very small movement. And it's really important that you become really aware of what's happening. So shift very slowly into one leg. And if you feel that that hip is not staying level, that it begins to move up, pause a moment and let it drop, let it relax, let it release. And then don't go further on that leg at the moment. Shift to the other one and focus on that hip. And just very slowly shift over and feel this the pelvis stay level, parallel to the earth, even. Or does the hip slightly go up? In which case, you want to just relax that hip, let it release down. And so just going slowly back and forth and recognizing that to begin with, you may not go to 100% on that foot. Maybe you only go to 80% or whatever it is. And as soon as that you feel that it's not maintaining the level, that there is a shift in that hip, pause and correct it and go back to the other side. And indeed, you are trying gradually as you do this to arrive at 100% on that, on each foot. But that may take some time. That very well may not be happening yet for you. So just play with this for a minute. Understand that when you're moving back and forth all the time, you don't eventually have time to think about it. You're getting a feeling. And by the time that feeling starts, but before it would finish, you should have corrected it. So you need to start building in this space so that you complete feeling what it is and releasing it before you move on. Make sure you move from your dantian as the center. Don't let your center rise up into the chest or head. So now try to keep moving and correct and release without pausing. So one of the things you can do, if you start to feel your hips are going, slow down, slow way down. Go from 50 miles an hour to 2 miles an hour. I mean, really slow down so that you have time to develop the recognition so you can correct and keep flowing. So when we talk about continuous movement, it's really important because if you stop, you disrupt the flow of the qi. And that's, of course, not what you want to do. You're trying to build in the habit of doing this as you're moving. And when you really get this, you can just let your hips go. You're trying to get that the qi that has been frozen in your hip releases and flows all the way down to your feet. Because now you're establishing the normal qi signal in your body. You have to be able to recognize what's happening inside your body. You need to be able to feel it. And the next step is going to be, as you get better and better with standing and syncing your qi, recognizing how the qi is blocked when you're doing it. The whole name of the game is to be able to get the qi to become smooth and complete itself. Okay, pause and sit down. Any questions or thoughts? What did you feel? How were your hips moving? What was happening in your qua?
I felt like I had to kind of let my knee move more forward and back than I like am used to, if that makes any sense. Not like uncomfortably far, but I used to it felt like to really let my hip drop, something else had to move, and so my knee had to come like release forward a little bit, and so it felt like there was a lot more, and like I'm exaggerating, but of this movement going on forward and back. I don't know if that's right or wrong.
So what that says to me is that you are trying to do the movement of being too erect.
Okay.
In other words, your base level needs to be slightly lower.
Okay. Yeah.
Because there shouldn't be any up or down movement.
So it's not up and down, it's forward and back. But if there shouldn't be any of that either, that's okay too.
Well, no, there really shouldn't. At this stage, there shouldn't be any forward and back. Let me put it that way. So I won't see anything if I so I'm turning sideways so that maybe you can see a little bit of my knees
Yeah,
here. So in other words, if you are too high in this movement, what happens is that as soon as you go to the side, you have to correct somehow to keep the pelvis parallel. And yes, then there has to be more bending of the knees or a movement at the quad. And we're trying to stabilize that movement of the quad, but also the knees. And of course, there is a slight bend in the knees as you shift from side to side, because as one leg straightens, the knee will straighten, and as you shift onto it, it will bend a little bit. So there is certainly, if there is some bending there, that's of course part of the movement. But what you are trying not to do is shift forward or back with it.
Yeah, I guess like it's so my weight, I didn't feel like my weight was moving forward and back. I guess just more that there was I'll have to play with trying to do it lower and see how that feels.
Yeah,
It just felt like there needed to be more bending of the knee than I usually did.
yeah.
To-
That's what it sounds like to me too. I mean, from what I could see on Zoom, it looked pretty good, but it's a little difficult for me to see some of that detail.
Right. But yeah, I'll try doing it
Right,
lower.
a little bit lower. I mean, and obviously that's not a lot lower.
Right.
Yeah. Susan?
I found that when I shifted, I needed to think about dropping the chi down into the earth in order to level out the hips.
Good.
But it's choppy still. I mean, it's not smooth yet,
Yep, yep. Okay,
but it feels back and forth. And it, yeah.
yep. So just to complicate things, there is a fundamental principle in all Taoist body practices, not just Tai Chi or Qigong, it's in all of them. And it has multiple levels of meaning. It's called Zhu Shi, empty or full. Rick Barrett translates it insubstantial and substantial, as have some other teachers. In terms of the body, what this means is that one leg should be full of weight and one leg should be full of chi. one leg should be receiving energy and one leg should be outputting energy. So that's the reason why you're trying to get your weight to go to 100% from one leg to the other. So let's stand again and this time just stand for a moment, really be aware of your structure and your connection to the earth and your connection to the universe. And then again, step out into a wide Mabu, finding that stance 100% on one leg and then bringing one back in slightly. So you still have a wide stance, but you're not putting any stress into it.
Find it.
Was that a question, Susan?
Well, I'm having trouble finding that.
So
over my foot. This leg has to be able to lift, but then I'm tipping.
So you have to narrow your stance a little. And it's really important that you're breathing down to your dantian and moving from that point, making it the center of your body movement. I mean, comfortable means, yes, that you can pick one foot up off the ground and not without any trouble, and no leaning, and be able to put it back down. And so it may be a fairly narrow stance to begin with. It's important that you're not under strain. So as you're doing this shift again from side to side, trying to make sure that your hips don't flip up, and being aware that you don't have to go to 100%, but as far as you can towards it, and try to keep your hips even, parallel to the earth. As you practice, you can work towards the 100%, a little bit at a time. And as you're shifting, begin to try to be aware of the energy sinking down through the weighted leg and rising up through the unweighted leg. So sinking down through the substantial or full leg and rising up through the insubstantial or empty leg. With every shift of your body, it causes a complete upward and a complete downward circulation of energy in your body. So this is done technically this way for very specific reasons. Certainly not that I happen to like it this way. It's not about what one likes or doesn't like. It's very functionally important. That's definitely moving better from your center, Susan. Good.
So the energy comes up and around, and then up and around. Is it your whole body or to your
Well,
dantian?
it's doing the whole body, yes, but you can also just think of that circuit from the legs up to the dantian and back down.
Okay.
And if that becomes clear for you, then you can open to feeling it all the way through the body. Is a little lower better, Andrew?
Yeah. I don't feel like I have to work as hard to maintain a
Good.
stable platform.
Uh-huh, good.
Does it help to breathe with it?
Always.
Yeah, so,
But
Uh.
you don't have to align the movement with the breath. If you want to, you may, if that
well,
seems,
it seemed if I was concentrating on whole body, it helped.
if that helps you, that's fine. The primary thing is not to hold the breath or pause the breath, but to keep it continuous.
Okay.
But there is absolutely nothing wrong with aligning the movement with the breath if that helps you. And you may find that the body naturally establishes a rhythm. And it could go either way. Now, obviously, all of this applies when you also add the rotation into the shifting. So when you feel that you have begun to stabilize the hips in just going from side to side, then begin to rotate and shift from side to side. Okay, relax. You can sit down. Oh, what did you discover in there?
Hmm.
Hmm.
Um, it was really trying to focus on what my feet were doing and how they felt helped helped have enough focus on my hips, but not be so focused on them that I was kind of in the way, and more just keeping the weight on the feet where
Uh-huh.
it should be, and having that sort of open shut of the foot really kind of let me relax about it.
Good.
It helped a lot. Yeah.
Um, Yeah, it was taking quite a lot of effort to keep the hips straight in the turn and in the shift back, and to make the gradualness of it.
Yep.
The turn. So it felt like an awful lot of things put together.
Yeah, and just think we haven't even added the arms yet.
Yeah,
It
but it's
is,
feeling more natural, actually. It feels more natural to be doing it.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's looking more natural too. And it's important, I think, also to recognize that each person will do it slightly differently because we're all different, we're all individuals, but it's important to maintain the basic principles because they are what allow the energy to move in the way we want it to move. So it's really interesting. It was very interesting to me to come to doing this practice after many years of Tai Chi, and to realize that I really had to pay attention to what I was doing, that I wasn't just automatically able to do this despite my years of Tai Chi. So yeah, this is an important step in the practice here.
You're so good at giving it to us in pieces and giving us enough time to get the feel of it. It's amazing. You
Well,
think you've been doing this for a long time.
I have been. You say that, Susan, and all I can think about is how badly I felt for my first students who I pushed through.
Your timing is very, very good.
It is important to not go too fast. Sometimes it seems like we take, particularly in the beginning of some of these stages in something like this, that we take a long time and go very slowly, but it is, I think, important and valuable to do it.
Good.
So let's see what time it is. Here. I don't have another practice. I have another informational section. Is that do you feel you can absorb something else, or have I taken you as far as you can go today?
Yeah,
Andrew is feeling he can take more. I'm feeling as though I'm about finished.
Okay,
that's fine
then
too.
let's put this off to next time. That's fine.
Is that okay, Andrew?
Yeah, yeah, of course.
Well, Andrew's been,
Yeah.
I've been pushing Andrew around for a while, so. Well, good. Well, have fun playing with this. And the nice thing about this practice at this point is that any moment you have a couple of minutes, you can play with this.
I
And you
do
can
it
do
when
it.
I'm waiting in lines for things.
Yeah,
I find myself.
nobody
Doing it.
knows what you're doing.
Nobody knows. Yep.
So yeah, it's a good thing to do. Great. Well,
Thank you.
very much.
Will
And
you send me both weeks?
yes, I will.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a great couple of weeks.
I hope things calm down, Andrew.
Me
at
too.
your house. Glad I'm not there. Glad that's
Yeah,
done.
whenever you feel like you're you're having a morning, you can just take solace in that. So
Oh, okay.
Okay, have a good weekend.
We'll
Bye.
keep that in mind, Andrew. Bye, Susan.
oh,
So, Andrew.
so David.
I felt like there were other questions there for you.
I get yeah, I suppose so. When yeah, there's a lot. But for going back and moving back and forth without churning, how when I do that, it feels like it's really actually a lot harder than when I am churning. And so how important is it to be able to to do it? You know what I mean? Because it feels like I'm doing something, like I'm kind of doing something wrong, because I'm like, well, like it feels like naturally there just wants to, and I don't know if I'm like just trying to hide the fact that I am lifting my hip with like a churn and like, whoa, ho, ho. You know what I mean? And so but it really felt like once it got lower, I was like, okay, that's better. But now I really want to like be facing this way, not this way.
Yeah.
You know, dead ahead when I'm on. So yeah.
So the shifting from side to side is really preparatory to rotating from side to side.
Right. Okay.
So how important is it? Well, it's important. It is important. And it's important that you be able to go from side to side and comfortably not raise the hip.
Right. Okay.
Clearly the move and actually even just the rotating from side to side, there's another stage in that rotation too. We haven't even talked about yet. So there is more, but you're right. The where you're going is being able to maintain that with the rotation, but being able to do it clearly from just shifting side to side prepares you to be able to not get lost in the rotation and start popping the hip.
Right.
When you're
doing
it. It just is refining your awareness.
Yeah. Okay. And then I guess I don't think there's a thing for it, but trying to actually move. I guess I don't like I wouldn't be able to put it into words what it means to move from the Dantian. And I feel like it's something that's pretty important and that you should be able to vocalize. But you know what I mean? So like, I feel like I'm doing it, but I don't, and maybe that's enough. But when I really, like, if someone really sat me down, they're like, what do you mean by that? I'd be like, just do it. You know, like, just don't, you know, don't not do it.
It's more important that you can do it than that you can describe doing it. Yes.
Okay. Like,
No question.
yeah, it's always just struck me as a little odd of like, I don't know. Because then I always have that part of me of yeah, but am I really doing it? If I can't describe the thing.
Let go of that.
Okay. Yeah.
Because it is a feeling.
Mm.
I'm staying on this camera because I want you to see my body.
Yeah.
As I'm doing this, because I think let me see if I can help you understand this. So I'm moving from my Dantian. Okay. And now I'm moving from my chest. Can you see the difference?
Yeah. Yeah.
I just pulled my center up.
Right.
So,
I can see, you know what I mean? It's like that sort of thing where I'm like, yeah, oh yeah, clearly that's wrong.
yeah.
You know,
Exactly.
it's wrong, it's different. I honestly, yeah, I think that's enough of just a reminder of, you know, you don't need to be able to describe it.
Yeah, don't overthink it.
Right.
I mean, you know, it's funny. You are not the only one of my students who works in an area, and not necessarily computers, but I'm thinking of Lewis, who's an actuarial. Is that the right term? Very, very high level. And I have to keep reminding him not to overthink,
Yeah. Yeah.
not to worry about being able to understand intellectually and describe.
Right.
That's not what we're trying to do.
Yeah, right.
So
Yeah, I guess it's you know, because it's not like I really want to know, but I guess I want to know that I'm doing it right.
yeah,
Um,
of course. And when I observe you as well as I can here on the camera,
right.
it looks like you are.
Well, that's good. Okay.
Yeah. You're clearly not moving significantly from the chest. So it does look like you're moving from the Dantian.
Okay. The I know we didn't talk about it today. The connection between you know, basically the top and bottom is still I don't have a sense of like I got it. You know what I mean? I don't know how else to describe that.
So you're not feeling the energy move all the way from the top to the bottom.
I see. That's no. I I can, but it seemed like when we were talking about that there should be a real sense of like, kind of in Dragon and Tiger in like movement 6 and 7, like there's kind of like a sense of, if you really get that transition right in the middle, it's like a real like thing, you know what I mean? It's like, it's a zing. It's kind of like, like,
Yeah,
it seemed like this connection should be the same sort of way. And I've never had like a hint of it. I'm like, yeah, I get, like, I guess I'm like connected, you know, and I really just feel kind of like super stiff.
so this is much subtler than that, because you don't
Okay.
have the hands moving the energy through the etheric body, which amplifies that feeling.
Okay.
So we will eventually, when we add the arms in Cloud Hands.
Okay. Yeah, that's good to know. And then whatever we were talking about at the start of class, what's that all about?
The what?
When we were talking about the your emotional state affecting you know, the entire universe. I'm trying to figure out if they mean literally, like, or if it's kind of like supposed to be hinting at like your emotional state is a filter that get like all the senses that you experience get passed through, and so that is the whole universe, because that's, you know, like that's everything you experience, so it makes it the whole universe. Or if it literally means that, like, you know, if I'm having a rough day, there's a fish on the other side of the galaxy that's just really, you know, having a bad day too.
Yes.
So, yeah, what's
Yes.
going on there?
That's what he was saying, yes.
So more literally, just that seems peculiar. Why? But
You know, this is not the only class in which I mentioned some of this more esoteric thinking. And one of the things that I remember Bruce saying is, you know, if you don't want to think about this, or it doesn't seem real to you, don't worry about it. Just let it go. But
yeah.
But he's throwing it out simply to open up of your awareness that this might be a possibility.
I guess to me it's more like what it less of questioning, like, oh, like, could that be real or not? I'm like, yeah, sure, whatever, like why not? You know, like, existence is super peculiar, but more like, what am I supposed to do with that? Like, now, because now I am like, am I supposed to just feel bad if I like if I, you know what I mean, like, because now I'm like, oh man, maybe like I like ruined a tree's day on like 16 planets away. Like, I don't.
So you're overthinking again.
Yeah, okay.
But no, what he was saying was that having that awareness is part of the reason why you learn to develop the control of your energies,
Okay.
so that they are not just randomly flying out and randomly coming back.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So when you look at the handout on the 8 energy bodies, it's a less less universe oriented and a little more immediately.
Yeah.
So it will be a little easier to understand, but the point he was making was that the energy bodies go way out further than we realize. And one of the things that one of the experiences I had where I really realized what he was talking about in reference particularly to the etheric body, because that's what you feel when some very charismatic person appears. And I was thinking about when I went and I worked as a volunteer at one of the Dalai Lama's series of lectures for 5 days.
Mhm.
But the first day, I mean, and it happened every day, but it hit me. The first day, I was certainly not in the back of the room. I was more towards the front of the room, actually. But when he walked on stage, there was a physical feeling that happened that could only be explained by the power of his etheric body.
Mm.
It was not what was going on with the people around me. I mean, everybody was pretty excited about him being there, but there was a distinct emanation from him that was really surprised me, because it was the first time that I clearly understood that.
Yeah, wow.
And you could feel that because I experienced it from different locations in the room. Well, it was a big hall, huge hall. There were 5,000 people there. The first, I was often in the third row, but I also was in the back with him. And I also was 2 feet away from him, which was an interesting feeling too. So, you know, I mean, it may seem difficult to understand or to comprehend or to accept, but I think that he was just trying to say, this may be a possibility, and therefore there's a reason why you want to bring your energy under control.
Right. Because, you know, I guess I'm relatively accepting in terms of like, yeah, sure, you know, it's not that I doubt it, it's that I very much just like, what what do I do with it? You know, like okay, sure, like and then, but so like how is it just an emotional regulation? You know, because like it's like that hint of like, hey, maybe you should like get your energy under control so you're not negatively affecting everything and within the galaxy. And like I'm like, okay. But from a purely selfish standpoint, that doesn't, I guess that affects me because it's going to come back, right? Because like their experience, right? So I guess I hadn't gotten that far with it yet. Because from a purely selfish point, like, well, that's their problem. But like maybe they should filter my negative emotions and then only deliver me that good stuff. Like it sounds kind of like not my which is probably a trap, but yeah.
Yeah. So this is all very much part of the subject of the first stages of Taoist meditation. But also this program introduces both outer and inner dissolving. And that's where we're going next, actually.
Gotcha.
And dissolving is really important in terms of balancing your own energy and resolving the energetic blockages in your 8 energy bodies. So, you know, we will introduce the beginning parts of that. We won't actually take, in energy gates, we don't actually go into full meditation mode. But we will,
Gotcha.
we will do the first stages of dissolving in the physical body and the etheric body, and even into the emotional body. So you do get some tools to work with.
Okay. Yeah. That's good to know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next time.
Yeah. I think that's all my questions.
That's all right. That was good.
Think
You
so.
have good questions.
Thanks.
No, that's important. So many people don't ask questions for whatever reason.
Right.
And I think, you know, the point at which I realized it was when Master Joe died. And I realized that there were an awful lot of questions I wanted to have asked him, but I had sort of been shy about it.
Right.
And that's part of why I so often say, you know, ask if anybody has a question.
Right.
I would like people to feel comfortable about asking questions.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
No,
important.
it's right. Yeah. Because yeah, that's too bad to realize that too late. And you're like, oh.
Yeah, it's a lesson.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got to let go of it too, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a huge shock. It was funny, you know, or not funny, but Master Joe, even though he was, when he died, he was 80, I thought he was 83, maybe he was 82. He was so physically strong and powerful, energetically, that when Master Jian called to tell me that Master Joe had been killed in an automobile accident, I couldn't hear it. I think he had to repeat it to me maybe 5 times before I could accept what he was telling me, because I simply could not emotionally accept that he was gone. Yeah, that was an emotional time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's, I don't, you know, like what, it's not like it's, you know, when someone's dying, you're like, okay, like you have that time to accept it, right?
Yeah,
On a phone call to be, I can't imagine, put myself through it, but I can see, I can also see you not being like, I'm not taking in what you're giving me. Like, I need, yeah, that
yeah.
sounds,
Okay,
yeah,
so Yang style.
young style in a very small space.
Well, maybe we have to do it in bits and pieces.
Wow. I'm glad my charger comes apart.
Oh,
Here. Is she in the closet? The strings out of the way.
no, that's not what I wanted. Ta-da!
Yeah, mostly, right? Here we go. Okay.
Well, that's pretty good. I I don't really know how much space that is, but
A lot. Yeah. We'll work with it.
okay. So, do you have any specific questions or?
Not really. I guess I was just gonna say, because of where I am, if we could just start from like Cloud Hands, and go through, and then maybe just add pieces.
Sure.
Because I can try to. It's painful to do a flow in here.
Yes, I can see that.
So that
So,
was my thought.
no,
Yeah.
that's fine. So just for fun, just go to start from single whip and just I would like to just see you do Cloud Hands.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember how to get into Cloud Hands. Okay. Hey, David, how do you get into Cloud Hands?
Okay. Let me change my camera here so you can see me. Come on. So remember, single whip is to the back corner.
That might be why.
So you're gonna turn on the left heel, turn on the right heel, that foot goes forward. Rotate onto it and bring the left foot parallel and then into Cloud Hands. So start again.
Yeah. I just figured I was there.
No, that's fine.
Mhm.
Okay. So no.
Okay.
So um, let me turn it so I'm facing you. So that turn forward just brings you into embrace the moon. And you hold embrace the moon until you've completed the rotation to the right. And then it's the turn to the left that turns the ball and brings the leg in. It's the turn back to the right that turns the ball and steps out. So
What the heck was I doing? Yeah, why was I doing it that way?
you weren't doing that. You were doing the 48 form version.
Yeah, right. I was saying, what the heck was I doing? Yeah.
Yeah. So
Low desk.
Oh.
Oh. No, I just said it. Okay.
right hand goes under.
That's what I felt like, but
Yep.
I tried to think about it.
So also remember what we were just working on in energy gate is staying on the same level.
Yeah, I'm going up and down a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a few things to work on in there.
This isn't how we do the form.
What?
I said, this isn't how we do the form, up and down.
No. So one of the things I was going to say to you was in reference to what we had, we're doing earlier today is we were working on just going back and forth and maintaining the same level. That's exactly what we're doing here. And you can think of it now, instead of 100% to 100%, you have 60% to 60%, and you can have it rotating just in the bow stance. And that obviously is part of what we're doing here, is that all of this is maintaining what we're establishing in that practice we were doing earlier. We're maintaining here in the form where it's much more difficult.
Yeah.
But important.
Yeah, it's like it's like whenever I get into a spot, I don't know what this would be called, but where you're on one leg and like one leg's coming in. Yeah,
Mhm.
I really, because I'm like, oh, I gotta like lift up that leg.
No.
Nope.
Also, I think maybe part of the problem for you is timing.
So should the ball be in the middle? Is the ball halfway churned? And I guess like it's done churning before the rotation to step, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, yeah, more or less.
Okay.
So your turn turns the ball, and pretty much it has come to center, and at the point at which you have arrived at 100% on that new leg, and then you turn and step.
Mhm.
Then the turn of the body begins to turn the ball, and as you come to 100% on the new leg, you're ready, you've turned the ball, and you're ready to step out. So it's turn 100% step. Turn 100% step. Yeah.
Okay. Mhm. Yeah, go back the other way.
Yes.
What do I do?
Don't turn the ball.
Huh? Why not?
Okay. All right.
Well,
Okay.
okay. I mean, if it's, I'm out of room.
Yeah.
Um,
Um, also, relax your shoulder.
is that what's going on there? That's so, yeah.
You,
It felt weird.
you were lifting this elbow, which was lifting your shoulder and tensing everything up.
Oh, okay. Like I was, so normally I feel, despite everything, I feel like fairly, I don't know, like it's a nice posture.
Yeah.
And that time I was like, what is happening?
Well, you just needed a little review.
It just feels so weird. Like to get to 100% and then like, all right, like all like the arm should be doing something.
So it's a little hard because, as always, the application is not apparent. But what's happening is you catch the person, you throw the person, and then you step in order to catch the next person and throw them. And you step in preparation to throw, okay?
Gotcha.
So
like the step, you're like, actually, that's like a catch, throw,
yeah,
catch, throw. That
yeah.
makes so much more sense, Dave.
Well,
Yeah,
good.
okay. Yeah,
So
right.
the other thing that's tricky here, and you don't need to do this yet, but the throw is wide. The hands are close together when you step, and then the turn goes into wide, and the step is closer together. The hands are closer together.
So like as I like, do the hands shrink as I'm stepping? And then like they're getting bigger as I,
Yes,
and then like step,
as
okay,
you rotate and throw.
but not sink, just step. Okay, right, 'cause like,
Well, you could worry about that later.
yeah, that's, that added a new,
Yeah, that's hard to throw in there.
that added a lot of buzz. Okay.
Okay, so when we the end of cloud hands is you turn and come in and step forward, shift on to it, bringing the left leg up, and then rotate and step and into another single whip. So I think you're probably all right with that, aren't you?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. And then going iPad. So we shift forward, reset the right foot, go back and up. So this is a rising posture. So do you have a question in that one?
I don't think so.
Shift forward, the arms fold in, reset, they begin to change as you go back and down. One goes up, one goes down, and then rotate back in the high path.
Yeah.
Do it once.
Okie dokie.
Do it again and don't change pace. Just do it smoothly and steadily all the way through.
I got confused. Why did I get confused? I don't know. Okay.
Yeah, now the last movement, the strike, is not fast in the
Oh.
form. It
Okay.
would be fast if you were fighting, but it's not in the form.
Oh.
I think that the tricky part in this is the left arm, because you want the left arm to keep moving in all the way through to the end, whereas the right arm has really two separate movements in that it goes up and in and then out.
Right.
Whereas this is just doing this all the way through.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I think I rush it. I rush it and then I'm not doing anything when I'm coming out.
Yeah, don't rush.
Don't rush.
Better.
Better. Not quite.
That's all right, it's coming.
One more.
Felt like you knew what you wanted to do.
Right.
Yeah, you just got to slow down that left arm.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
And then we get into the kicking world.
Yeah, we definitely do that.
I'm sorry?
I said, yeah, we definitely do that. And I don't,
Yeah. Everybody says, what the hell?
well,
So first you're going to do ward off left. So you rotate right, sinking back to base level. The left leg comes in, and you rotate, shift forward, and ward off left. And that is on a little bit of an angle.
okay.
And then you're going to just shift onto the left foot to 100%. And the arms just fold in. So this is clearly initially, I mean, if we think martially, it's a defensive posture. You're maybe separating their arms. And then what happens is the body is going to rotate a little right and then circle back left into the kick.
Mhm.
So in effect, when you've gotten to this point, you're going to turn a little bit right, kick, and bring the foot back into center. So you're kicking with the outside edge of the foot.
Okay. Yeah.
And at the same time, as the leg goes out, your arms go out, and the right arm goes out over the right leg in the direction of the apparent point of contact, whatever that may be. And the left is bent up a little bit. It does not go out straight. It only goes up a bit. And then they come back in. So nothing to it.
Yeah.
So we go into ward off left, shift in, kick, and then you're going to do the right side. So after the kick, when it comes back in, they come back in to embrace the moon.
Okay.
And then you step with the right, shift, and your shifting is actually probably has a little sink to it. So you can go into ward off right. And then again, shift forward the elbow. In effect, the elbows bend in. And you're going to do the opposite side kick. Up. Come on, David. Boom. And then we do something else.
Let me do something else. Okay. Let me see if I can kick a table.
Why not? That's good. Do you have a target?
Yeah. So then,
Good.
and then we are gonna. And we're gonna definitely do some other stuff here. Here we are. And then kick into a table, more or less, sort of.
Remember you're kicking with the outside of the foot.
Right. That's how, yeah. That's always weird to me to kick with the outside of my foot, but yeah, that was nice, great. I've done the other one. I don't think I've ever kicked this in this direction, so now I really don't know what I'm doing.
So you're gonna turn left first and then circle back.
Oh, okay. That makes, yeah. Wow. Wow, that's so weird. My brain like doesn't know what to do with that. Okay. Open this way, kick.
Yep. Good. That wasn't so bad.
No, like I get what I'm trying to do. I have two arms.
Yes, and do remember you're not coming back to holding a ball between your hands. You're coming back to embrace the moon.
Maybe that'll help.
Maybe,
Not really.
but that was better that time.
Wait. The kick should all be at the same level.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's knee or lower. It's not a high kick.
I mean, I shouldn't be moving up and down.
That's correct. You should not.
And David, is it a kick or is it a sweep?
It's a sweep,
Okay.
sweeping kick.
Because like if someone's here, how do I kick them with the outside of my foot? Like I really gotta like crane my foot. You know what I mean? Because like I'm not like if I was kicking like a wall, like that makes sense. You know, I
You're
could
not
like
kicking
that.
like this. You're just kicking like that.
So like I guess if I was doing this to someone, what
Yeah.
part of my foot would hit, like? Am I trying to like hook my foot around their ankle or knee?
No,
Am
no,
I trying to
no.
kick
You
the
were
side of their
just
knee and break it?
you're just you're overthinking again,
I know.
but
It's
not
like,
but
it
not
really-
unreasonably so.
it really like changes how like my foot should be, you know. And I'm kind of like just wiggling my foot every time I do it, and I'm like, I don't know, like
No. So it's the sense of this foot is coming out and kicking, hitting the edge of your foot is, it's like you're kicking their shin.
okay.
And believe me, it would hurt like hell if you did that.
Are you just kicking their shin?
Yeah,
Oh, I'm trying to like break their, you know, I'm trying to like think about how my foot would like get to the side of their knee.
no,
And no. So, okay, that makes more sense.
no, okay, good.
A little bit. No. I have two arms. The opposite arm, does it go all the way out?
No,
Okay. It just goes out a bit.
yeah, it
Okay.
it just goes up.
Okay. It's like that's what I'm doing. And I couldn't tell if I was supposed to like,
Boom. Yeah, the forward arm goes out, the rear one just goes up a little bit.
okay.
Yeah,
And then we go. That was not it. Like that. And the weirdest thing in the whole planet. Whoa. Whoa. Oh. Wow, that's gonna need some practice.
I think we might say that.
Holy cow, David, what the I don't know what I'm doing. That's so weird. Like I just don't know how to like kick with that.
So the first part of
Yeah.
the first part of the turn where you're turning left, the leg doesn't really go out anywhere. You're starting to really take the leg out.
Okay.
That turn is just winding up
All right.
to go into the kick. Yeah, better.
Right, like, done that. In winding up. Kick. Coming in.
Uh-huh. That's coming.
It's just so weird.
Well, it's just, it's not weird, it's new.
It's so new. Yes, it's so new. Yeah. Wow. I feel like I'm watching like Rowan try to walk.
Yes.
It's this one's embracing the moon when we're done, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's a sequence of events that happens there. What did you say at the beginning of this? Everyone goes, "What the hell?"
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
if you can get that down, then we'll do a spin.
Oh, God. I feel like I need to go back to how we started this adventure.
Wave hands.
Right. Oh, I wasn't even going to go back that far. Okay.
Oh.
Here we can. No, that's fine. Yeah. I probably should be able to do that one. I'm still. Oh, I stepped forward. Never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. This, and then poof, catch. Get out of here. Catch. Get out. And the name of this pasture now that I'm coming out of, I'm going into.
Well, you're going to go into single whip.
We go into single whip. Thank you.
Yeah.
Uh,
And then into high pat.
and then into something else. I feel like I just want to do this.
Yep.
And oh, okay, yeah, this.
Or off left.
And then this is the first kick, right?
Yep.
This way, this way. No. Whoop, 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 whoop. Sound effects really help.
Yeah.
Hi.
Yeah. That's coming.
For the after hi Pat. Okay, I guess I meant more after the kick. So after that kick back, should it just be like what is it all should it almost be like one thing of kick back to embrace the moon, my leg just basically doesn't stop. I go
Yep.
step into okay.
Yeah. Shift, then rotate.
Kick. Sort of.
Yeah.
Okay. Because that felt like it could be like one big swoopy thing. Okay.
Yes. It is one big goopy thing.
Yeah.
You got it.
Okay.
Good. That should keep you busy.
Yeah, I think that's probably, I don't think I need to, get dizzy at the end of it. So I don't know. Spinning.
Well, say hello to everybody.
Yes. Yeah, it's been at least 20 minutes since I heard the last scream, so maybe we calmed down.
Oh, good. They were having a bad morning.
It was just an average, typical morning. Like,
Yeah.
I want this and I want it now.
Yeah, right. Well,
You know what? Realistically, yeah, that makes sense. Why would you not want it now? So.
don't all children go through that?
That's apparently, yeah.
Oh, well.
Yeah. What always catches me off guard is the if a person has that much, emotional discharge or whatever, I don't know what you want to call it, right? They get to like, if a person was yelling that much, right?
Yeah.
You expect some sort of like smooth decline down from there.
Yeah.
And it always catches me off guard for them when they're just like, they are 100% at the top, and then you're like, you can like, it's not like a smooth decline down. They're just like, like, I'm better now.
Yeah, right.
I'm better. Like, we were
Right.
never having a problem. And it's just like, I guess I'm glad, that it's not like something we need to, because, but it's just such a like shift from like what I'm expecting of a human to do that I'm like, okay, like, I guess because like, so then sometimes I'm like, well, I'm not over what just happened, right? And like, that's my own problem here, but so yeah, that's what always catches me off guard. I'm just like, I guess we're good now. Okay.
It really is startling sometimes when that happens.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, what happened here?
You're right. Or the exact opposite, right? Like everything's great, and you're like, hey, do you want apple juice? Like, no. All right. My bad. Yeah.
This is teaching you to flow with change.
Yeah. Sometimes I'm there, and like other times I'm like, I think maybe going all the way back in a loop, right? Like everyone else's emotions have just as much effect, right? On the other side of the universe or whatever. So where's the lesson on like developing that filter of like, I see you're very upset, and for everyone and like, I don't need to be as upset with you, just because you're doing that. I don't have to do that.
Nope.
Because it's very easy to get be like, well, so will I. Like,
Right, yeah.
like if we're playing that game, then I'm gonna play too. Like, wow.
Yeah, it's I think that when you have children, it's as much about teaching them as it is about teaching yourself.
Yeah, I think she's taught me about 18 times as much, and Rowan now too. He's like a person now.
Yeah.
As I have taught them anything, right? All I've done is like repeat facts, like why are trees green, or leaves? I'm like every day with them. I'm like, oh man, like I guess I have to like shift my like how I exist to like be a better example and like be a better role model, and to properly like not be vindictive to a child. Like they don't, what I mean, like they're not gonna nope, they don't put that in the books either, they're not
No,
like,
they
hey,
don't. They don't put that in the book. You're right.
Yeah. If I was a better writer, maybe I'd make some money doing that. Just, hey, by the way, like if you don't want to do that, maybe don't. Well, David, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Good luck.
Yeah. It'll be fine.
Say hi to your lovely wife.
I will. Yeah, I'll let everyone know. Give them big hugs and stuff.
Absolutely. And hopefully we can get together at some point before terribly long.
Yeah, maybe now with the weather getting nicer.
Yeah,
I'm talking to Kai about doing an outside visit or something.
sure.
Yeah, it'd be really fun.
That'd be great.
Yeah,
I've had my other booster.
nice. We still have not gotten ours, so we have to go do that. So that's actually on the to-do list.
Yeah. Do you get Moderna or Pfizer?
Pfizer,
Well,
I think.
it's hard to find.
Right. I think
CVS
that's
has it in Groton. and
CVS
Wal-
in Groton.
And Walmart, or Walgreens has it in Clinton.
Okay. I think I found like Middlesex Health had a thing. I think there was a place in Haddam. They have like a clinic there that you could pick which one you wanted, and then it was like, so I think they have it there.
Oh, that's good. Oh, we
yeah,
didn't find that.
according to the site. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it was like you picked it and then you went and they're like, well, this is what we got. Like, so I was gonna call ahead.
Well, yeah, I made an appointment for it.
Right. All right.
Well, good luck.
Yeah. Thank you.
Take
Have a nice
care.
weekend. Yeah.
We'll see you shortly.
Yep. Bye.
Bye.